Hi everyone, it's Stephanie. I haven't been on in a few days. This world is not our home, and hopefully we will be leaving it very soon. It is mind-blowing, the things that we're seeing happening in the world right now, and the war in Israel, all the enemies surrounding, just like the Bible says that will happen, and the protests and things going on around the world globally. It is quite amazing, really, that we've come to this point. And I'm not surprised by the riots and things. We've seen these kinds of things happening over the years for different matters or whatever. But it shows a complete lack of wisdom and a complete lack of understanding. And people not willing to learn the truth, know the truth, gain any knowledge of anything. And honestly, I mean, you see these protests going on and you're going, well, it's no wonder we've let so many people into this country not knowing who they are or what their belief system is or what their standard of living is or anything about them. We don't know anything about them, and they've infiltrated many countries. We let them just walk in. So for this uprising to happen, I'm not surprised. We've let them into our government. We've let them into, in other countries, same thing. It's like we make room for these people. We make room for them. But when it comes down to it, they don't care about us. They do not care about us. And they're operating of their father. And we know who that is. And let's just say, those people protesting, especially those in America with these LGBTQ signs supporting it. I think there's a cat on my roof. LGBTQ signs and saying that they support Palestine, and the wisdom, the lack of wisdom, the lack of understanding actually they're supporting not Palestine, they're supporting the acts of Hamas, and they say they're supporting Palestine, but they're promoting the acts that Hamas has done. And yes, I'm talking about this on here, but if you think about it, it's not surprising. This world has given itself over to lies. It has completely turned its back on wisdom. And I'm going to read Proverbs chapter 1, starting at 20. Chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, for that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. You can just picture wisdom just crying out, listen, listen, hear my words. I have truth for you. I have knowledge for you. I have given you the truth, but no one listens. And I'm not talking about believers here. I'm talking about people of this world who just completely reject the truth given to them. And I believe many in this world have heard the truth. I would be hard-pressed to believe that they have never, ever heard anything about God, about Jesus, about anything about it. And whether they were listening or not, that's another thing. But, I mean, maybe there are people out there who've never heard. And I pray that they hear soon, that they hear now, that people will come across them, that will give them the message and give them the truth. But I've been watching this ministry in Israel, and they've just been going on the street and preaching the truth. And you can see the animosity and the hatred and the unwillingness to hear anything about Jesus in Israel. And it just reminds me, or puts the thought in my head of, you know, when Jesus was crucified, he was right in their presence, and they sent him to the cross, you know, and they were angry, and they hated him. They rejected him. And they're doing so now. They're still rejecting him. They're not listening to the wisdom being cried out in the street. They're not listening. And, you know, I love Israel. I love the people of Israel. My heart breaks when I see that, because they are so angry. They get so angry when you mention Jesus. They just completely shut you down, and they mock, scoff, poke their fingers in your face, spit at people, headbutt them. I've seen all kinds of things. And it's just like, Lord, these are people that you chose and separated. And then they're going through the war that they're going through, and the people are being taken hostage. And all I can think about is, yes, they're probably suffering right now, but what greater suffering will they have if they don't hear the truth and they don't receive the truth in their life? Because what they experience here will not be even close to what they will experience if they don't receive Jesus. So my prayer is that the Lord reach them somehow, and that somebody tell them, and whether it be an encounter with an angel, whether it be just he's there with them and they know it. Because those people's faces, when you see the videos of them being taken, and they're beautiful people that God created and he loves, and it's heartbreaking. And the people of Gaza, you know, I ache for them as well. But I also know those children that die early, they're going to be with Jesus because they're innocent. And the people, there are many people, you know, in Gaza who may or may not support Hamas or that, but I saw videos, you know, the people parading and cheering, and they weren't all Hamas from what I could tell. The narratives that people give are false. They're not speaking truth. If you're not for Jesus, you're against him. And that's a simple fact. You're either for or against. There's two sides in this world. There's not multiple sides. There's two sides. So many people are lost, and they have no idea what they're doing. And, you know, Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they're doing it now. They know not what they do, but they continue. So remember to pray for them, not just for being released from being hostages, but from losing their soul for eternity. And so I just, that was kind of a tangent there. I was still talking about wisdom. And I was going to read, no, I don't remember what I was going to read. Oh, James 1:5, sorry. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. So that's what we see. People in this world, they are like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed from one way to the next, one view to the next, one idea to the next. They just don't have any solid ground to stand upon. There's no truth. There's no, and if they have any bit of truth and it's twisted even slightly, it's not truth. So it's not truth. It's Satan's MO. It's his modus operandi, you know. It's what he does. He takes truth, he twists truth, and people believe it. Why? Because they lack wisdom. They do not read. They do not learn. They do not seek wisdom. So also, James 3:17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. The Lord will give wisdom freely, and if you lack wisdom in any area, or you're seeking to find answers about things that you're hearing on the internet, about the rapture, about the second coming, about salvation, all these things that confusion has infiltrated into our hearts and minds about any topic, it is found in the Word. It is found here. It is found here. Wisdom is in here. It is God's Word spoken from the beginning. You know, John 1 actually. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of the light. That was John the Baptist. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. So he was not that light. John the Baptist was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of the blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, and the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bare witness of him, and cried, saying, This was he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have all we received, and grace for grace. So, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It's Jesus. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, and I guess that's just where I'm going to leave it. I just pray that you guys will be blessed today, that you will pray for Israel, for their souls to be delivered, to hear the truth, to not just hear it, but believe it, because they're hearing, some are hearing and they're rejecting it still. But it says they will be blinded for a time. And Jacob's trouble is coming. And it's going to be really hard if we're just seeing a glimpse of what will happen right now, of what's going to happen soon. So pray for them. Pray for the people of this world who they lack wisdom. They lack understanding. They have been given over in their thoughts and in their ideas to things not of God. And the Lord allows it, because that's what they're choosing. So just pray. Keep praying. Jesus is coming. He is coming soon. He will be here soon. Everything in prophecy is coming to pass. Everything is true. Everything God said is true. It was true the first time he came. Sorry, I need to get a drink. I'm going to start coughing again. It was true the first time he came. Everything that was spoken about him happened just as it was supposed to happen. And he rebuked the people for not knowing he was coming. And yet, here we are today. We're shouting from the rooftops. We're telling everyone, he's coming. He's coming. And no one wants to listen. And obviously, I'm not talking about those who do listen. Excuse me. I got a tickle in my throat. I'm going to go. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.